should play.
I have a character.
Whose fault is that?
Not mine, because I didn't plan on playing.
Whose fault is that?
Not mine, because I didn't know you guys were going to play today.
You should make a character so you can play. Were you? What did you make for the other game? What, like the game that we were going to be playing with everybody? Oh no, you were still going to be playing Jash. Why don't you make that hunter character you wanted to do?
I was going to do her after Jash.
Oh.
Yeah, because in the other game she's only Jash for a little while. Man, none of these spells last very long. Keep getting too many
I
levels.
don't remember where I had my paper that had her weight and height. I believe she was like 5'4".
You should make another character to play.
I want like a weaker version of Water Walk that lasts longer. That would let me walk on marshland. So, yeah, walking in. You realize the best way to introduce her is going to be as someone already in the group.
Yep.
You realize I was hoping that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But she doesn't necessarily have to be part of the group.
What do you mean?
Like, she can just be someone who's there. Maybe against her own volition. His
Oh,
own
yeah.
volition. Or someone who works there, not as a magician, but as, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
the custodian. Who's just also is a level 7 adventurer somehow.
I feel like in this group that's not entirely unreasonable. It's like they kept running off all of the other ones because they didn't have thick enough skin, and
Just make her start at level 1.
I mean, if we could keep her alive, she'd level up real damn fast. Okay, so yeah, walking.
Which, it's a cleric and a rogue, so...
Yeah,
Or rogues.
rogue illusionist.
Alright, so you're walking, and a whole lot.
By the way, is he actually an illusionist? Like the specialized wizard? Okay.
What up?
Character sheet. And dice.
Might have to, do a bootleg character sheet.
I think I have extra character sheets still.
So just to fill you in on what's going on, right now he's traveling through a swamp. He's going to a secret mage guild that's trying to kill the island.
That was faster.
If you want, you can do a magic user and be part of that guild that just switches over to help him. Or you can be someone who lives in the swamp of undead for some reason. But if you can be a cranky old lady witch if you want. You just have to travel with his character and not be a, undead user.
What did it?
Yeah.
Whoa! Get it, you crazy. My Jackson. Hello.
You might want to use the green laptop so you can look at like races and classes and things.
I don't feel it going back there again. Tummy hurts.
What level are you, Chris?
8.
You can be level 7 or you can be level 1.
I'm gonna go with level 7.
Level 1 would be
No
easier to
fun.
make. It's
Yeah.
harder to play.
Gotta go with level 7.
You're no fun anymore.
Level 7 for 400, Alex.
Oh.
Oh man. So you're walking, and the trees get a little bit denser. You start getting a little bit more bugs. No undeads yet, though. So at least you've got that going for you. You pretty much walk all day. Small talk, I take it.
Yeah, I'll recount them with some of my recent adventures. Not mentioning so much about Shiana or Sybil though.
Hey, yeah.
Do you tell him about Jash?
Yeah,
Does he,
Jash and Crag
do
and-
you still have Shiana?
No.
not at the moment.
Shit's gone down.
Yeah.
How are you not dead?
Hmm?
How are you not dead?
She's not dead.
Oh.
I just don't have her at the moment.
Yes.
Oh.
Nezra does.
Oh.
Because she's cursed.
Oh.
I feel like I did a good job piecemealing that information along. Just like, here, and here, and... Oh!
Yeah. Things happened. Things and stuff. Can't wait for another player character to get to meet Shiana, though. Especially now that she's...
Oh yeah, she's all but large now.
She's the size of a horse. A small horse. Like a pony. She could be ridden now. Probably. If someone were brave enough. I don't think she'd take to a saddle.
Yeah.
So you really would have to be brave to ride on her.
E20 PFRD?
Yeah. PFSRD.
Other way around. PFS.
So you walk all day, small talk, and then Ora's like, wow, that Jash sounds like a mighty fire. Mighty fine fire. That's the one.
She is!
Night falls.
Exo piece. Plus.
Can we find a relatively dry place to set up camp?
Survival check.
That's an 11.
No. Other than the trees, anyway. You can try and sleep in a tree. Full of Jash, as it were.
See, my new character has a hammock. This one doesn't.
Why did you that so loud?
Sorry.
What? He's looking his butt on your blanket.
Hey, none of that.
Dang it. Did not mean to open you. Really hope this doesn't mess up the Steam or the recording. Okay. Really don't want to sleep on in swamp. Was he helping me look, by the way?
He was.
Okay. And we still couldn't.
He also rolled.
Do you have anything that would help us sleep more comfortably? Keep things dry?
What are you doing?
I do not. Unfortunately. We could always try sleeping in a tree. These branches are pretty small. I know I could do it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a shame neither of us thought to bring a hammock.
Who needs hammocks? Fuck your hammocks.
Well, I kind of did all my preparing before I knew where we were going.
Hammocks are gay.
Hindsight 2020, all that, you know.
Drow is a spider. No, Drow is a human part of the spider. Humanoid part.
Yes. They're dark elves, usually evil.
Tell you what, I've got 50 foot of hemp rope. I say we find a tree with a couple of branches close enough together we can kind of wrap it around the two branches long enough that we can both fit a bedroll in there, sleep between it. I've got a heat stone, keep us warm.
Sure.
I'll try to figure out something better for tomorrow.
Or maybe we'll find somewhere dry tomorrow.
I could do lower water. That would help, maybe. No, it wouldn't last long enough. Which I would say in-game before thinking about it. And if he knows that spell, that gives him a very good idea of how powerful I am, because that's a 4th level spell. Also, it might be called Reduce Water.
He does not know that spell.
I mean, know of it, not can cast it, but... I will have said at some point, too, that if he runs out of water, I can make clean water. So just let me know. So yeah, I'll get up there, I'll ask him to help me set it up, kind of like I said, just...
He does. I
assume that's another survival check, though.
To set that up?
Yeah.
I don't know. Handle rope isn't really a...
Climbing in a tree, setting something up, the rope up good enough to do the things between it, you know.
Yeah, just an all-around survival
Yeah.
check for that, sure.
What was that?
That's a 15 this time.
Your friend doesn't really help much. He does cast light to help you see, but he doesn't really.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all he's able to do with that.
Yay.
But it does get set up.
So my opinion of him is waning rapidly.
I mean, it's like after the wolf, I had to give him a really had to give Valkyrie a really shitty NPC. Like, alright, she's had a really awesome one since level 1. Not anymore.
I don't want to see the fluid cavity of the spine. There's a character who also has the same name as there's a race that has the same name as the fluid cavity. Cavity in your spine.
Okay.
Syrinx.
Syrinx?
Yeah.
Well, considering I'm probably not going to have any use of it for the rest of the day, I guess I will go and do this. Kind of expected us to run into more stuff before now, which is why I didn't, but...
Well, we were dropped off on the outskirts after all.
Oh,
I'm sure we'll start running into some things later.
they're legit
Yeah.
people.
Maybe it was the group I was traveling with before, but things have never been this quiet this long.
Oh, there.
Except when we were on the ship.
The owl people.
So channeling positive energy.
Okay.
That's 6 plus 5, 11 hit points.
Cool. He looks very, very healthy now.
It's sad that we probably got about the same damage, and from the way you're describing it, it looks like it weighed on him a lot heavier than it did on me. But then, I guess Rogue and Sorcerer are both squishy. I'm used to being one of the squishier people in the party, or at least thinking of myself. I guess Josh was more as a bard, maybe. No, I think we had about the same hit points. Yeah. So, and then compared to that, there was, I guess Crag probably was mechanics wise, but he was also a rock person, so I didn't think of him that way.
Yeah.
And then there was Shiana. So I'm used to being kind of the wimp of the party who stays back and doesn't get hit, and then I've got him, and it's like, huh. This is taking some adjusting to get to, I guess is my point. Okay.
I don't think it's... I was just looking at the other races and I was like, hey, I wanted to play a Kitsu one day. But I don't think a Kitsu would be in a swamp.
It could be.
What's the temperature been like here, by the way?
Hot and humid.
Okay.
Maybe. It's still
Annoyingly hot, or?
Not quite, but you feel as though it's probably going to get that way.
Okay. So, back to preparing into your elements is what I'm hearing.
Oh, not quite that. Well, like sweaty hot. Like
Yeah.
you'll definitely want to be wearing less clothing hot.
I will activate the heat stone that lasts for 24 hours, and I'm finally using it. I had that in this character's starting inventory. Never used it. Where is it?
And now I'm thinking of this, like, would the guild have like a eating area in it or something?
Yeah.
Thinking because they have an attractive human thing, she could be like a bartress or something. Bartress? That work?
No.
Why did that word come off?
Bartender?
Yeah.
Bartender and waitress was the two things you combined.
Yeah.
What class would you be?
I don't know yet, but that's
But that's second.
That could be why you're there. Go ahead and try and come up with a class, like what class you want to be first, and then we'll get you there. I will certainly, if you pick a class that would make sense to be bartending there, you can certainly do that. Though. If you want to do that, I would recommend a magical class.
By the way, I assume he has his own rations?
Yes. Yeah. He's got a pack with a loot tied to it, as well as a pan, and also it's full of things. You assume there's also a tent in it, or a tent roll.
Bedroll or a tent?
Tent. It looks like it has a tent.
Yeah. Great, we both have tents. And we can't use them.
What?
they give you names.
Yeah, they give you example names. You don't have to use any of those.
Actually, we could probably have put one tent under the other and kept it fairly relatively waterproof.
Oh, they so small.
Okay.
They so
Raina
small.
sized.
Yeah. Oh, that's the base height. Okay, they could be 5'9".
Okay.
So my height. Not really 5'9", but still.
Trying to think if Valky would think of keeping watch.
I need a D8 check.
I don't think she would. She's so used to it not being an issue. Hello.
Oh. I asked the height that I roll, right? So the
Mhm.
base height?
Yeah, it'll tell you what those numbers are. Like
Oh,
you're
gosh.
rolling. Is this for height?
Mhm.
Like this is inches. So add 7 inches to whatever the base height is.
Okay.
So which one are you thinking?
Female.
So 7 plus 5.
Is number 12.
12?
No. Yes, 12.
12? So you're 5 feet tall.
Okay, 5 feet. Cool. Now I lower my weight. Nine to 85 pounds.
9 plus 85? Or 85 plus 9? Commutative proper, doesn't matter which way it is. Boom, bitch. I'm sorry.
94 pounds.
Okay. I'm not finding any spells that last longer than about 10 minutes per level that would allow us to traverse swamp easier, and that is very annoying.
I'm sorry.
You could do floats and vessel and give us a raft once it gets really swampy, but actually that's not a bad idea to have prepared just in case. Okay. Yeah, and I guess I'll hang my pack from a branch or something near where I'm laying. Put my armor and stuff in it too. Keep my mace in my bedroll, but the armor take off.
So, morning. And you're praying, yeah?
Yeah. I'm being saddened by the fact that there's not a good thing to do.
Not a good thing, huh?
Yep. Okay, so changing spells around real quick. Oh, and I was gonna do enhance water and drink a water skin full of ale before going to sleep.
Okay.
Keep that. Do it on a second time because I'm nice like that. So. 2, 3, 4. Damn it. Oh, but it's still good. Yeah, still gonna keep that one. So many good spells only affect living creatures.
That's why Fireball and Lightning Bolt are the best. Or at least that's why Liber spam it.
Alright, I'm ready.
But I want soda. So you wake up, your back might be. I've been wanting Arby's for. Yeah, that's a little weird.
What?
There's
That's
just
a lot of weird.
somebody been parked outside of our house for a little while.
Oh.
Last night, this morning.
Okay, so we're
Okay. So I guess we weren't there.
taking down stuff,
Yep, your back
putting
might
armor
be a
back
little
on.
stiff from sleeping on rope, but
Well, I mean, I was putting a bedroll on the rope.
oh, okay.
Like, it was there to put the other stuff
They
on.
let,
It still wouldn't be
yeah,
great.
still, I'm sure your back.
I also-
stiff.
On the other hand, I also have a blanket, and if it's muggy, I won't need to have it on top, so I can have that underneath too.
Yeah, you could definitely sleep without a blanket in this weather.
Okay, and that is actually one of the things I am going to do first this morning, is cast Endure Elements on both of us.
Oh, that is so much better. Okay, it's a gnome. I can't do gnomes. I can't right now.
Don't feel bad, I'm not really doing a woman either.
Woman. That's a woman.
Alright. And I guess have some breakfast before we set out. Actually, probably before we put up the bedrolls and stuff, because that's probably going to be the most comfortable place to sit.
It's really interesting. I'm hearing D&D in the background of all these hellish demons screaming. I'm watching Doom.
I think now that's on my laptop. I might play it some more. I've been meaning to put it back on there. Thank you.
No problem. I wanted to play it too and get back into the nightmare hell that I entered.
Okay.
Maybe 46s.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take one of them?
I'll let him know for breakfast. That I do have. I can cast Water Walk twice today, and that'll make it
Jackson.
a lot easier to traverse the area, but it'll only last for about a little over half an hour each time I cast it. So figure I'll wait till if we get to some really impassable spot, or just it's really muddy or really bad or something, we can use it then to get by. But of course I can also make a raft if we get to a place that's really watery. And then yeah, kind of pack up, put stuff up, head out.
Okay. So you do that. And you walk some more. It's definitely starting to get hotter.
Well,
Yeah, you can still feel it, you just don't feel discomfort from it, I believe is what it is. Or does it just feel like it's room temperature all the
That's it.
time?
Stop it.
I think it might feel like it's more like room temperature. It doesn't say. You just exists comfortably.
Mm.
Suffer no harm from and exists comfortably. If you're in conditions between -50 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Without having to make fortitude saves. So yeah, I might be able to notice the rise in temperature, just not affect you so much.
And you can definitely feel it getting more human.
Okay.
Anything in particular you talk about?
Actually, yeah, talk about a little bit of what we kind of expect the other to do in combat and how we get by. So, I'll say, by the way, I am fairly handy with the mace. I've got some spells that will make it harder for me to be hit, and I can kind of be in the front lines, because you don't strike me as someone who runs on the front line so much. You,
I was told this would be mostly reconnaissance and infiltration. I'm not much of a fighter.
Yeah.
I've got my daggers and I can use them.
I mean, in theory, yeah, we shouldn't need to fight. We'll just go in, make contact, start doing some stuff. But, since we're posing as going for the job, they might want to get us to do some stuff. And plus, there's the whole area infested with undead, and don't know how soon we find them. So,
Yeah.
it seems likely we'll get into a fight at some point or another, you know?
Hey.
You said you're good with illusions. How, what kind of thing do you tend to do? So I don't get fooled by it.
Well, I can fabricate sounds, and I can make you see things that aren't there. I can turn invisible. It's really quite magical! I believe you've already seen me move the light. Get the light I used that to help put the tent together last night.
So what I'm hearing out of game is he's got like first level sorcerer spells, or possibly just no magic.
No, man.
And considering that he hasn't mentioned being a rogue other than being decent with daggers, I'm just thinking, wow, they yeah, they totally respect me back there in Ganai. They're sending the best of the best to help me.
Well, initially you were going to be going alone.
Yeah.
This was like a last minute addition.
Fair enough. Just. Okay, it actually is kind of important. How cute is he? Because I can't tell if am I going to be looking at him as some adorable little childlike being, or as some pathetic excuse for an adventurer.
His charisma is 18.
Okay.
So he definitely plays himself well.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing something.
Summer? Okay.
That
works.
That's
for
good.
bartender. So your
That'll make it easier
options
for me to not just let him die.
for joining Valky would be either you're infiltrating for your own reason, which you can come up with for whatever, or you just join her for whatever reason, which you're also gonna
Well,
come up with.
since this is actually a racial trait for Kitsune, they have keen for making a name for them, so they can putting their name in the history or some shit like that. So that could be the thing that
I'm gonna have to look at that. But
Also, it is time to cut video, so I'll see y'all back next time.
real